everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. I am so excited to be filming today's video. As you can see, it is going to be my Q4 makeup inventory. Recently I have been filming quite a bit of videos about my makeup collection because I have done the collection declutter / plan to pan series, but I still do want to film an official makeup inventory video. Now I will be changing things a little bit. My collection is to the point where it is really curated, almost minimal at some points, and it just doesn't make sense for me to go over it category by category, because in a lot of categories there's not a lot of changes, and anyways in many categories there's only a couple of products. So we're going to take a look into little bit larger subcategories at once. That way we're able to go through this little bit quicker and it's not so repetitive, because honestly my collection doesn't change that much these days. Of course I do finish products regularly and sometimes I bring in some new products. A little bit more rarely right now because I am officially on a no-buy, although I will say a couple of products have entered my collection since taking the pictures. And we're going to go today with the pictures from the really beginning of October. I think it was maybe October 4th that I took the pictures. So we're going to go with those, but a couple of things have entered my collection and you will see them in a later video. Something else I want to mention before filming this video is that we will be moving in the beginning of November. And I will film a chatty get ready with me. That is going to be the next video that I'm going to do after this one. So I will explain a little bit what is going on. Also, I will be, before our move, filming a video where I will pack my makeup collection. And in that I might do some last minute decluttering, and I might even talk about in today's video what products I'm planning to let go of. But yeah, I think that was enough for this intro. Let me move a little bit aside so I can put pictures here so we can compare my makeup collection 3 months ago in July to right now in October. The top picture is my collection right now in October and the bottom picture is what I had in July. So these are all of my complexion products. I had 14 in July and I do still have 14. They have changed slightly but not too much. As you can see, there's a lot of products that are still the same. I did finish my W7 Prime Magic Primer and I have replaced that with the Catrice Sensational Primer. The W7 primer is the same, so I do have 2 primers and that's always my goal. I want to have a pore filling primer and a hydrating primer. Then let's talk about the foundations a little bit. I have 4 currently. I had 2 in July. I did finish the W7 HD foundation, and then the HD liquid coverage from Catrice is my fuller coverage summer shade foundation, so I'm not using it currently because it doesn't match anymore. But the 3 new foundations that have entered my collection, the Catrice Soft Glam Filter Stick, which I will say I was really pleasantly surprised. I thought it's going to be good, but I still wasn't sure if it's the type of product that I would personally like, because I typically do like a little bit more coverage. This is going to give a really sheer coverage, but I do like it how it just makes my skin a little bit more even. And currently I am mainly at home finishing my studies, so I rarely go anywhere where I would need my makeup to stay more polished the entire day. So this is great for days when I'm mainly at home. And I will say that when I use the Catrice Soft Glam Filter Stick, I still like to set my face to be pretty matte. That's just my preference. I do get a little bit oily, so I'm not necessarily going so much after the glow with this one. I just like the fact that it's so quick and easy to use and kind of like my skin but better. Then the W7 Skin Fresh foundation. That one is my more natural summer foundation, but it doesn't match me right now, so I'm going to finish it next summer. And then the last foundation that I added to my collection is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur foundation. I was in a need of a setting spray and I ordered the setting spray from Cult Beauty and they were having a sale. I think it was like 20% off of almost everything, and I wanted to get to free shipping, so I knew that I'm going to need a fuller coverage foundation in my winter shade. I'm not typically so much into splurging high-end money to foundations, but because I was able to get it 20% off. I ended up paying, I think, under 30 euros. I thought that is a fair price and I was willing to give it a go, and oh my gosh, it is so nice. It's really thin, so a little bit goes a long way, but it's still matte and it covers really well. And also a bonus is that the shade range is extremely good with this foundation. That's something that I have kinda struggled with drugstore foundations. One part of me wants to save money because I just think it's a responsible thing for me to do, to not overspend on makeup. But then on the other hand, I would prefer to support a brand that makes a good shade range. So I think this foundation is what I'm going to be purchasing in future for my more fuller coverage foundation, but I'm totally going to take advantage of all of the sales. And I'm wearing it today and I got the shade Cashew, and I will say it's a perfect match for me. It's always a little bit difficult to pick a shade online, but I'm glad that shade turned out to be really good for me. Okay, let's move on to concealer. I had 4 concealers in July and I do have now 3, so they're the same otherwise, but I did finish the W7 stick concealer. I actually used it as my under eye corrector because it was this peachy color, but the formula wasn't as nice on my under eye as the Catrice under eye brightener. Then the powders are also the same, although in the October picture you can see that the Revolution packaging is empty, and that is because I have transferred it to another powder packaging. This Revolution powder packaging sucks, and I do have this packaging from Vibo that I really do enjoy. I am working currently in my project pan on the W7 Banana Dreams powder, and I don't at this point think that it will be completely gone by our move. But if it's not gone before that, I'm just going to combine whatever is left with the Revolution powder, but I hope I can get as low as possible because the W7 Banana Dreams powder, I am able to set my face with it, like today I have set my face with it, but on my under eye it's going to look too yellow. So yeah, that's why I don't love it, but it's a powder that just lasts forever. I have been working on it since the beginning of summer and still I am nowhere near of finishing it. Okay, then the last complexion product category is setting spray, of course. I had 2 in July. I finished both of them. Now I have only one new one, the iconic London Prep Set Blur setting spray, and I got to say I really do enjoy it. I have not been using it too long yet, so I cannot give like an in-depth review yet of the setting spray, but so far I like it. What I specifically do like about iconic London setting sprays, whether you want to go for a glowy one, which I will say the glowy was too shimmery for me, but whether you want to go for a glowy one or a matte one, they are free from alcohol, which I do think is great, and a lot of brands have alcohol in their setting sprays, but iconic London doesn't have. And the sprayer also, it's not the best ever and the smoothest ever, but it's still better than a lot of brands. Okay, let's move on to cheek products, and this is not going to take too long because as you can see, nothing has changed. Although I will say one of the products that I have added to my collection since taking these pictures is a bronzer in my winter shade, because the Charlotte Tilbury Nude Gas and Face palette is old. It's over 3 years old, getting closer to 3.5 years, and for me 3 years these days, that is the point for me when I do want to replace my makeup, and that is because I have previously gotten reactions from using expired makeup, so I had to learn the hard way. But yeah, in the Charlotte Tilbury Nude Gas and palette, the lighter bronzer is like a really good winter bronzer for me because it's so pale. I do prefer a pale bronzer, so I wanted to get another pale bronzer, so I have added one, but you will see it later. I don't know if you can see from the picture, but I have actually hit a tiny baby pan on the darker bronzer on the Charlotte Tilbury Nude Gas and palette, and also there's some progress on the blush, but otherwise the products look pretty similar, although in the cream cheek products there's some progress. But I will say recently I have not worn my cream cheek products. I wore them quite a bit in summer, in early fall, but I don't know, somewhere last week or early this week I was supposed to use them because I'm officially working on them in a project pan, but I was just like, no, I don't want to wear them. I feel they ruin my makeup. They leave my face tacky, and I just don't like them. This is a good reminder that I truly am a powder cheek product girl, and even if these cream and liquid cheek products are super popular, I should not buy them in future. So I actually think that in the video where I will pack my makeup collection and I will let go of the last things, I'm going to declutter from this picture all of the 3 liquid cheek products and then the old face palette. But where I do have some changes is actually my eye makeup product collection other than eyeshadow. So let's just go from left to right, although it's not necessarily the order in which I do my makeup, but I just think it makes most sense. I had 2 eyeshadow primers in July and I did declutter both of them, although the Milani one was almost out, but whatever was left in the tube was so thick and dry that it made my lids really cakey. So I threw those 2 out and I replaced them with the LH Cosmetics eyeshadow primer, which I have been using it now for about a month, I think, and I do really enjoy it, although I don't wear eyeshadow nearly every day. Typically I don't wear it at all on my everyday basis, and I may wear eyeshadow like once a week, if even that, currently. So I have not used it too many times, but so far I enjoy it, and I do think it makes my lids really smooth and eyeshadow goes really nicely on top of that. I will say that I'm also going a little bit back and forth if I want to have a glitter primer or not. Currently I am leaning towards wanting to have a glitter primer because it just makes a difference with shimmer eyeshadows. So that's something I might add to my collection at some point. The false lashes are still the same. I do have, they are in the Ardell Wispies pack, but I do have 1 pair of, I think these are Sadie Mini from House of Lashes. And these are really nice lashes. Unfortunately, they're a little bit difficult for me to get, but I have actually been thinking if I even should have false lashes in my collection or not. That is because I just don't bother wearing them, even if it is an occasion where I previously would have worn false lashes. I just typically don't bother, and I do think my makeup looks good enough without false lashes. For example, today, my husband and I are going to celebrate our wedding anniversary today. We had our 11th wedding anniversary yesterday, so we are going to have a dinner today. In the past, I would have always worn false lashes to this kind of event, and today I was like, even when I was doing my makeup, I was like, I'm not going to wear them. I know my makeup is going to look good without them, and I don't necessarily feel a need to be so glam. I'm going to keep this for now though, because in the end of the year there's also going to be these different celebrations, and at least where I can see myself wearing these is my graduation party, which I will have in December. Then in July I had 1 brow pencil which I was able to finish, and I'm really happy about that because I do prefer to do my brows with eyeshadow. I just think I can get a more precise and sort of soft look and more definition also because I use different eyeshadow colors to create my brows. Eyeliners I had 3 in July, so I ended up decluttering the NYX eyeliner, the one in the golden packaging, because it was so old. So I opened the backup that I had, which is the Physicians Formula, I think it's Eye Booster or something eyeliner. I really do like that. I like the eyeliners that are in this sort of like pencil form because they're easier to control when you do the line, but what I do like this one specifically is that it has brush end, and then the waterline pencil is still the same. It's from Essence, like a €2 pencil, and works just fine. Okay, then in July I had 3 mascaras, but I had only 2 of them open, and now I do have 4 mascaras and I have 2 of them open. So I always want to have a black mascara and a brown mascara open. On those days when I don't wear any eyeshadow, I always wear brown mascara because black is just going to be a little bit harsh. But if I'm going to wear eyeshadow and eyeliner, I do go for black mascara because it's just going to be more drama and I prefer that. But there's totally a place for both of them in my collection. So I have probably replaced both of those that were open in July, and now I have some backups. I do have the Essence Lash Without Limits mascara. I do have a backup for the brown one, and that really is my favorite brown mascara because it gives beautiful length to my lashes without making them clumpy, and this one clearly is brown because, you know, sometimes brown mascaras, even if they are technically brown or the packaging says brown, they look almost black on my lashes. And then the backup that I do have right now for my black mascara is the Essence I Heart Extreme Crazy Volume mascara. This one looked really nice on some TikTok videos, so I thought that that is the one I want to try next. I think mascaras I'm also going to switch when I pack my makeup collection with me, so at that point I'm going to declutter those mascaras that are open right now. Okay, then to so many people's favorite category, which is eyeshadow. I will say I really have fallen out of love with eyeshadow. I do wear it sometimes, but on my everyday basis I prefer to keep my eyes bare. At least right now, since I'm doing really natural makeup looks. Eyeshadow is something that I do prefer to have a more glammed up look otherwise if I'm going to go for that. And another thing I will say is that I do wear reading glasses currently, and I do need them if I study or work on a computer, so it is a huge part of my day. And I maybe do prefer how I look with glasses without any eyeshadow. I just think the eyeshadow with the glasses, it's just like too much going on. So I don't know. I have been going back and forth if I want to do a painted palette next year. I would like to do it with the soft glam. Maybe combined a little bit with the Nubian Earth palette, because it's not my favorite palette and I don't know if I want to keep it for longer than next year. The soft glam palette I have had close to 2 years now, so next year is the last year that I want to keep it, so that's why I'm thinking of doing a painted palette with it. And I'm still leaning a little bit into doing the painted palette, but the focus is not going to be on progress at all. No hitting pans, no finishing eyeshadows, nothing like that, but I rather just want to get use out of it and try to enjoy it while I still have it. So I might do that next year, but I don't know if anybody would want to watch that because it's boring, like if I wear eyeshadow only on weekends, let's say. So of course the progress is not going to be good, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, I'm really rambling right now, so let's have a little chat about what has changed in my collection. I have not added anything, which is good of course since I am on a no-buy, but I have decluttered a couple of eyeshadows. So one of my liquid eyeshadows, the Balm Liquid Eyeshadow in Bellini, which was just a really weird color. It was like a mauvey pinky base with some golden greenish shimmer to it. And then I did declutter the Catrice eyeshadow stick. I really did like the color of that, but unfortunately the formula was awful. It was that sort of stick that would just skip and not be even though how hard I tried to make it even. Okay, so next is lips, and this might look a little bit confusing if you have not watched my makeup inventory videos before, but the way I like to look at my entire lip product collection is by dividing the lip products by the year that I have bought them. So what you can see in both of the pictures is the upper left corner is one lip product from 2023. The upper right is the lip products I bought in 2024, and then the bottom row is the lip products I have bought this year. And all of those were bought before I started my no-buy in March. Nothing has entered my collection, again a good thing. Lip products typically have been kind of like a problem category for me, but some lip products have left my collection. I did actually finish a lot of lip products the first half of the year, but since filming the last inventory I have not finished any, but I did declutter some lip products that I just didn't like. So from my 2024 lipsticks, I decluttered one of my Essence lipsticks with the white cap. It was like a bright coral color and I just don't like them. If I'm going for something bright, I'm just going to wear red. Then another brighter color was a lipstick from Art Deco. It was their high performance lipstick in Pomerian Red, which I thought was such an interesting lipstick when I bought it because it was this coral color with some shimmer to it, but I don't know, when I wore it, it was just tacky and also a little bit uncomfortable on the lips. And then from the 2024 lip products, I decluttered one of my red lip liners. It was a lighter, kind of like bright, a little bit orangey red. I didn't like that lip liner with my red lipsticks because it was a little bit too light, and this red that I do still have is a little bit darker. And I only liked that lip liner with the two coral colored lipsticks that I just mentioned that I decluttered, so it didn't make any sense to keep this lip liner either. And then from the bottom row I have decluttered the two major matte lipsticks from W7, which are duping the Huda Beauty, whatever they are called, the Huda Beauty lipsticks. But yeah, I really did not like this. I didn't like the formula and I didn't even care for the colors really. I kind of bought them in a panic before I started my no-buy and I really regretted buying those. But yeah, those have left my collection. I do want to talk a little bit about the lip products that I do want to focus on finishing next. So one of them is the lipstick from 2023. I'm actually wearing it today. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips 2 lipstick in the shade Red Hot Susan. Now I will say this color is something that I only like to wear it in summer and fall, but it is clearly a warmer toned red and I do prefer my more cool toned, or it's not like super cool and like purpley, but it's like a blue based bright red. I do prefer that in winter and spring. So this Charlotte Tilbury lipstick I am kinda trying to focus on right now, and then I think next summer and fall is when I do want to finish it. But yeah, I have really fallen in love with red lipstick again after going back to blonde. I did wear it when I was brunette, but I just think there is something so iconic in the combination of blonde hair and red lipstick. And red lipstick has again become like my signature thing to do with makeup. What else I do want to focus on, especially next winter and spring, are all of the Juvia's Place gloss sticks. I don't really like them. I don't like the formula. They are really gooby. I thought I would like them more than an actual lip gloss, which as you can see I don't have any because I just don't like those. I like the colors but I don't like the formulas, so those are something that I do want to work on and finish. Maybe also the Shine Bomb Lip Lacquers from Catrice, because these sort of dip in lip products I just don't like so much. I would like to have only bullet lipsticks, so maybe those are also something that I'm going to try to focus on next year. Okay, so the next category is perfume, and here you can see the biggest difference, and honestly I'm so relieved that my collection is so much smaller. I actually have finished two since July. So I did finish the Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, I had the Travel Spray, and then I finished the Afnan Kiana Angel, and honestly finishing both of those was hate panning. I didn't like them, I didn't like the scent profiles, so I ended up wearing them only at night when I went to bed because I didn't want to go anywhere smelling like that. It took a couple of perfumes for me to realize that it's really not worth it to force myself to use up a perfume that I don't like. And perfume is one of those things that you're going to notice it yourself when you wear it. Like, I can put on a lipstick and unless it is uncomfortable, I'm not going to notice it myself. Perfume is not like that. You spray it on and you smell it, and at least for me, if I don't feel the perfume, it can easily like ruin my mood and day. So I don't want to waste a single day of my life hate panning a makeup product or a perfume that I don't like. Let's quickly go through what I have decluttered from my collection. As I said, I have finished two of the perfumes, but I did declutter the Mancera Cocoa Vanille. That has just a little bit too much of like suntan lotion vibe to me. Then I decluttered the Coffee Addict from Theodorus Calotinis. That was actually in my project pan. For some reason this one has a really medicinal scent. It just smells like hospital on my skin. Then the Kayali Vanilla Oud. I do think that is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. But here we really get to really only wanting to own favorites. And that just doesn't compare in my books to the Vanilla Royale Sugar Patchouli, which I'm actually wearing today, and oh, I feel this perfume is like me in a bottle. Then from the bottom row I decluttered the Hair Felicity, which is supposed to be a dupe for Silk Santal, which I did kinda enjoy Silk Santal when I sampled it, but I just thought it's too expensive for what it is and I had some issues with the performance. Unfortunately this one is a little bit more sharp. It's just not as smooth, so I just didn't enjoy it so much. And it's also really sugary. It basically, when it dries down, it smells like vanilla and sugar, so it was maybe a little bit too sweet. Then the Shade from Lattafa, it was basically like a yellow floral fragrance. Nice, but last summer I just wasn't feeling it. Every time that I wore it I felt that it's boring. And then Teriak, a really well made perfume from Lattafa. I think they did great job. The bottle also one of the most beautiful perfume bottles I have ever seen. but unfortunately it was a little bit too much for me. It is a really sweet and dense caramel with some spiciness and leather going on. It's one of those that definitely is not everyday appropriate in my opinion. And then when we get to special occasion, I would never wear it over my Vanilla Royale. I will say from the perfumes that I have decided to keep, I don't really love Eclair. I just don't think it's that well made. I have sampled Bianco Latte previously and that one is on my wish list because I do think it is really good, especially for like the cold winter season when you just want something cozy. Although it is pricey, it's not even close to some of the perfume brands. I think the Bianco Latte is still like way under 200 euros per 100 mils. So I do think for a perfume that is really good and really performs well, that is a fair price. If it didn't perform, I would totally buy a dupe. But yeah, I have that on my wish list, but of course before buying that I do want to finish the Eclair. But other than that, I'm not in a hurry at all finishing my perfumes. They all do have a different purpose in my collection. But what I don't like about Eclair is that it just has a lot of alcohol in the opening. Now that we are in the topic of perfumes, I will say that I had a ton of samples in July and I did cluttered most of them. I only kept 2 that I actually really want to sample, but I thought that samples is maybe something that I don't want to go over in my inventories anymore. My goal basically is always have them at 0. Okay, then the last part of my makeup inventory is nail polish, and one difference how I'm doing things in future is that I will be including my top coats and base coat into my nail polish inventory, so that's why the numbers are the same. But yeah, I do have 7 nail polishes right now, and I did have 7, but 2 of those nail polishes that I had in July I decluttered, so both of the Color Club ones, and then I did finish the Berry M Molten Metal nail paint. And yeah, I do have currently 1 base coat, 1 glitter polish, 2 top coats and 3 colored nail polishes. And today I'm wearing the red one, which I do really like the look of red nails, but honestly I'm just starting to be so over of nail polish, and I still go back and forth if I want to get my nails done professionally or not. When I filmed my collection slash declutter video, I said that I would start getting professional manicures, and then after that I thought, okay, maybe I want to save money and not take the professional manicures. I'm going back and forth with it almost every day right now, but today, before I started filming, I had to paint my nails and I was just like, I really do not care to do this. But then I thought that, okay, it's our wedding anniversary celebration and I just don't want to go with unpolished, unpainted nails. So I did it, but I'm really starting to lean towards starting to get my nails done professionally at this point. Okay, so that was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. It still took quite a while to film, although I think it was a little bit quicker than previously. Next year I do think I want to also start tracking the entire number of my makeup collection. I'm not exactly sure where it is right now. I do believe it's probably somewhere like 70 products, might be quite close. Maybe I will find the number and write it to you. But I think my official goal would be to get my makeup collection, including perfume at least. Maybe I won't count nail polish to it if I start getting my nails done professionally. But my makeup collection, including perfume, I would like to get down to 50. I am planning on at some point filming a video of my dream makeup collection if I could only have 50 products. But yeah, that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye.